Okay. So I know the judge and the prosecutor, my lawyer. I want to let the judge and the prosecutor, my lawyer, I want to let them know. October 22nd. It's not that far out. I just want to put it like this. No matter what charge you try to throw at me, or what try to judgment you pass down or hand to me, I want to let you know like this. The Mexican cartel, ISIS, the Taliban, Muslims, Islam. You know what? My mother explained some stuff about ISIS and the Taliban and Muslim Islam. I won't get into fine details about it, but she was talking about the Muslims and the Islam and the Taliban and ISIS, about the sexuality. About the sexuality and what they're doing in Iraq. But it's no big deal in my family. But what they're doing over there in Iraq, it ain't no big deal here in my neighborhood. With my family my neighbors. It's no big deal, is it? But I just want you to know that it's you know how Donald Trump talked about witch hunts. Remember Donald Trump talking about witch hunts? Remember? But that whole time, Donald Trump, remember when he talked about witch hunts? Remember that being investigated. As soon as he became president of the United States of America, he started being investigated. That whole 4 years he was being investigated. For what? Because he's a legitimate, appropriate man. Is that why he got investigating? Because he's a legitimate, appropriate. Let me just put it like this. Donald Trump said a lot of bad stuff about women. But I want to ask you leaders in America and around the world. But you don't never talk on TV. You don't never make the headlines about Pornhub and braziers and porn stars. That's an everyday common thing. It's an everyday common thing. But you want to criticize Donald Trump about things he said about women. But you don't get, you guys, the media don't criticize much about Islam and Muslims and the Taliban and ISIS, their sexuality. But America broadcast sexuality all over social media and Fox News, CNN. It's no big deal, is it? But you want to know what got me into this mess? Because God started making me realize I'm not here to my own account. God made me realize about sexuality and what men and women do with each other and other stuff. The reality is, I gotta be reality. I have to be reality. Why would you say I wasn't if I wasn't? Or why would you say I would if I wasn't? Why would you say I wasn't if I would? I could be more of a reality than you guys think. In Battle Creek, Michigan, in America, the world. You know what started all this chaos with me and my mother, my father? Woman. That's what started the chaos, was woman. God opened my eyes to woman. I said, ooh, what's that, God? He goes, that's a woman. I said, wow. That's what God did. Remember Adam and Eve? I never thought much about it till God started showing me woman. And I was like, wow, I want that. Even the police, they're like, what the hell's your problem, Chris? I said, I see God showed me them women. I want 1 or 10 or 20 or 50 or 100. It never happened to this point. I was like, why are you guys making a big deal over? And I said, I asked God for $500,000. Other people didn't like that. I said, I want some money and woman. I ain't never had any of the above. I said, I ain't never had a woman like that. I've never had money like that. I started asking God for $500,000. And then I started to ask woman for relationship. It never happened. It never happened, though, thus far, saith the Lord thy God. It's a reality. It's more of a reality than you guys think. With the Mexican cartel, human trafficking, all the way to substance abuse, all of heavy, hardcore drugs and alcohol. Everybody around here is, in my neighborhood, my family neighbors are acting like everything's just fine. No big deal. Chris is just, he's got this mental illness problem and he's got this medicine. And God's like, whatever. Don't make God laugh. No skin off God's back. You people better wisen up real fast. God's here. God's up. God's up. God's here. Jesus Christ, the Holy Ghost, God's Spirit, the throne of heaven, which is God's throne, which is heaven. You know the world? The world is God's footstool, where he puts his feet.